Gaming, we bring you the latest in the world of sports. I'm Paulo Del Rosario.
And we give you the conversations you want to hear from your favorite sports icons and athletes. Hello, I'm Boom Gonzalez. You can watch the game live and our past episodes on demand on the Pilipinas Live app for just 99 pesos a month. Available for download on Google Play or the App Store now.
Buckle up, sports fans. Let's get in the game. With the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 just around the corner, there's no better person to ask about the ongoing preparations of the national team than the head coach himself. Welcome to the game, 9-time PBA champion and Gilas Pilipinas head coach, Coach Coach Reyes. Coach, maraming salamat. Thank you very much for joining us kahit on the road po kayo.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Paulo and Boom.
Coach, let's get to it. Of course, that China stint, very important for you and the rest of your guys in terms of development. What did you feel you learned the most, even without a Jordan Clarkson part of that lineup in China?
Well, I think the most important part I felt was we showed a lot of toughness. We were able to work on integrating other guys who've been with us for the first time. Who were not with us in Europe, like Roger Fogoy, Calvin Octana, and Ray Parks. I think that was very important. And then, like I said, and then finally getting some actual court time for AJ Edu. I thought that was very important as well.
Who looked really, really good in China. We'll get to him in a bit. But Coach, I wanted to ask us, because you said prior to the European trip that you wanted the boys to experience the pace and the physicality of European basketball. What was the intention going into the pocket tournament in China when it comes to that? What did you want them to experience naman that was different from the European pace?
Same thing, because when we are just among ourselves here practicing in Manila, no matter how intense we try to elevate the practices, we still cannot simulate game type intensity. And teams like Senegal and Iran, for example, Iran plays a very Euro style of game. If you watch the games, you will see that they play a very Euro type basketball. They are not the Iran of the past that was dumping the ball to their big men inside. They're all outside shooting threes as well, they're bigs. For Senegal, the important thing was us to get a chance, a taste of playing African basketball, because we're going to play Angola, and Senegal was the team that simulated the style of play of Angola. They're very physical, they're long, they're big, they pressure hard, and those are the things that we wanted to achieve.
Coach Chota, the photos of JC, now part of the Gilas practice, already has gone viral. I'm sure you're all aware of that. But Coach, one of the things that you've mentioned in the past was that JC slotting in and learning the system would be easier because of your experience niya. How has that first practice been like, and of course the process of him integrating with the rest of the Gilas boys?
Well, still very early days. It's our first practice. We just basically did a lot of shooting and a lot of 5-on-0 stuff, just reacquainting him to the things that we do, and then for him to also get familiar with players he hasn't played with before. The first time he met AJ Edu, for example, he's never played with Junmar as well.
Right.
Renz Abando also. So, there was a lot of getting to know you first. But like I said, just by the indications of how we were of last night, I just saw one practice, very early to tell. But I don't think there's going to be any problems in terms of integrating. The familiarization and the little nuances,
right.
It's easy to learn an offense. It's easy to pick up stats and all that. But the little nuances of the counters, the tweaks, the reads, which you can only get in game time situations. That's really more important concern right now. That's why it's important that we have 3 more friendlies, 3 more tune-up games coming up, so that we are able to work on those little things, which are very important in execution with JC.
Coach, JC is coming off an incredible year in the NBA, obviously, career numbers. It's been a while since he's been with us. What do you see that is different from him now in this stint with Gilas? Just as an individual player, do you see any differences now in Jordan Clarkson's game?
Not too much. Again, it's just his first practice back with us. Maybe it's too early to tell, but not too much. It moves the same, everything. The swag, the swag is the same. You know, the confidence that he brings to everyone just by being there, just his mere presence. But like I said, I've always believed that NBA players, very good players, they are in the NBA for a reason.
Right.
And one of those reasons is their ability to continue improving and developing their game. And I'm sure the Jordan Clarkson we had in the windows is not the same.
Yeah.
We're going to get a much improved Jordan Clarkson this time just by having more practices with us.
Right.
I think in the windows we had 4 or 5 practices before we played Lebanon. So just by having more practices, I think we're going to see that effect.
Coach Chot, you mentioned it a while ago that nothing can replicate the game type scenario. You mentioned there's going to be 3 friendlies. So I'm not quite sure if you're willing to divulge kung sino makakalaban natin in terms of those friendlies. But can we assume that once those friendlies happen, those are going to be the things that will decide what our final 12 will be? Because a lot of people are also going to be asking if Kai is going to be part of it, Kai Soto is going to be part of the pool and part of the practice, and of course, if that's going to be part of your decision-making process for your final 12, Coach.
Oh, definitely. The way we structured the tune-up games, again, is a replica of the teams that we're going to play. So we're going to play a European team, we're going to play an African team, and we're going to play a Latin American team, a South American team. Because those are the teams that we're going to play in the actual World Cup. So we made sure that we mimic that kind of competition. And in fact, even the schedule, we try to get it as close as possible to what we are going to actually face in the World Cup.
Right. Well, Paulo, you mentioned Kai. Well, I guess I'll generalize this question, Coach. What is the situation of the health of the team in general? Because I remember in Europe, there was a bit more injuries as opposed to the ones or the preparation going into China. They were relatively healthier, and you did say that they looked like they were in better shape. What's the situation in terms of the health after the China pocket tournaments?
Everyone's looking good. Knock on wood, no more injuries. It's, of course, you all know that Poy Aram and Justin Brownlee already underwent their procedures. They had surgery already. Scotty Thompson is a weekly thing. We continue to monitor. He has weekly x-rays, and we're trying to see if his hand, his fracture can heal in time, some legitimate time to practice. But he's keeping himself in shape with all conditioning, full conditioning and running and stuff. But aside from Scotty, we got all 15 guys in.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. I know you're on the way to practice, so...
Drive safely.
Drive safely, and we'll hopefully talk to you again very soon. Maraming salamat, Coach.
Thank you.
Maybe next time we'll get a traffic report from Coach Reyes. Maybe that would be cool. All right, in the meantime, after the break, we'll shift to the women's team as they wrap up their run in the Jones Cup. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game.
Yeah, definitely. No mention. He didn't say his name once.
No, you didn't.
He didn't. It's so good. That was one of my favorite interviews because there's so many layers now. Okay. Sige, let's talk about our women. Okay, okay. Pero from that team, siguro tatlo lang yung, or mga lima lang yung sa Asian Games, no? Kasi, a bit more than that. Yeah, kasi like Sophia is not gonna be part of it. Gabby Valdez, probably. Yeah.
The Asian.
Kasi yeah, kasi this is in preparation for it din, diba? So,
Sophia, ano yan, ate. Kung may mentor. Dun sa mga PhilAm.
that's true.
Oh, okay,
She's
kwentuhan
super
kami,
important.
yeah.
She's super important there for that.
Parang, di
Yeah,
ba? No,
yeah.
it's such an important thing sometimes that
Yeah,
gets
you need,
overlooked.
yeah. Copy that. It's like ano it's like sa Pilipinas, it's Ina Palacios. They'll never get rid of her because you
Yeah.
need to have that connection.
Parang sa NBA lang, you have a locker room guy.
Yeah, the glue
like,
person.
diba, you don't
Yeah.
hassle him.
Yeah.
He doesn't play, but
100%.
does so many things. Keeps them in check.
Yeah.
Welcome back. You're still watching the game. The Gilas Pilipinas women's team may have ended the Jones Cup with a 2-4 record, but a couple of key standouts emerged in their campaign. And with us to break down their performance is basketball analyst and first-timer. We love first-timers here on the game, attorney Mariana Lopa. Good evening and welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, guys.
First of many
Yeah.
that will be here on the show. Okay, let's talk about the girls. First of all, before we talk about the results and the actual games, the last time we were in the Jones Cup, we were 0-5.
Right.
Right, so we were 2-4. But other than that, to your knowledge, attorney, what were the intentions in, and I guess the object going into this tournament? What were the expectations? The new girls, because a lot of new girls,
Yeah.
a lot of mainstays, and then may mga bumalik din sa
Right.
team, right? So,
So I think one of the main intentions from an outsider looking in was really to give opportunities also to a lot of the girls who weren't able to go to SEA Games or
Asia
FIBA Asia
Cup.
Cup. Yeah. So that was one. I think they brought a lot of young players. They brought Luna Ozar, young kids.
Right.
Casey De La Rosa.
Correct.
And then at the same time, it was still, of course, continuing to play because we don't have a local league here. So
Yeah.
being able to compete internationally with pros is huge for the Gilas women.
We also talked about how this is a developmental thing for some of the younger players
Right.
there. Casey De La Rosa in particular, Jasmine Hoson, who has been making waves in the scene as of late. How did you see their games translate and how great is this for their own personal development? Knowing that, okay, we're not just playing against people here in the Philippines. We're now going up against some of the more tougher competitions around the region.
Definitely. Well, Jazz was like a totally different player. In the
Yeah.
UAAP, she plays mostly point guard, facilitates for Ateneo, brings down the ball. In this Jones Cup, she played more shooting guard. She was more like catch and shoot right away. Like the moment she saw the ring, she would take the shot. And I like that Jazz.
Yeah.
I like that Jazz. She came with a lot of confidence and brought a lot of points every game. Casey De La Rosa, any league you put her in, she shines.
Yeah.
Every competition so far she's gone to locally, she's won an individual award. So it was her first time to be tested internationally on the elite level, and she showed up as usual, almost averaging a double-double.
right, Jasmine Hoson's game or points, 12 points, 2 rebounds against Iran, and then followed it up with 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, and of course you mentioned KC. What a debut at 14 and 15 right away. Not too shabby in the next game with a 12 and 8 output. I'm sure you've talked to her already.
Yeah,
What was she saying about this initial experience for her and the kind of learning that she is getting from, or she got from this trip to Taiwan?
You know, I think Casey is just the way she looks on the court, like young, having fun all the time. That's the way she is off the court too.
Yeah.
So when I asked her, "Kamusta Jan? How are you doing?" and the first thing she says is, "Ang saya, playing against good opponents." She says she has no idea why she has 1 steal per game. And also, I think for these two girls, it's a lot of learning from their teammates too. Like Casey's learning a lot from playing with Jack.
Yeah.
And Jazz at the same time with the other guards.
For sure. And
Yeah.
they're probably going to be different players once the UAAP
Yes.
start. And can I just ask your opinion about how will they bring this to the UAAP?
Scary times for the UAAP.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Definitely.
For the opponents?
Yeah, I mean, last year they brought Ateneo to the Final Four, both of them making the mythical 5, right? This year, with international experience under their belt, that last year was coming off pandemic.
Yeah.
There was no
Right.
women's basketball
Yeah.
during the
Right.
pandemic. This year, coming off one season and international experience, scary times.
I'm excited because women's basketball in the UAP has become more and more competitive, and with LaSalle doing as well as they did, with Ateneo having more international talent part of their group right now, it's really scary times. So I don't know. NU is gonna have it's going to be a NU's gonna have a good race
Oh, yeah.
on their hands.
We're going to have a great tournament.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of, you mentioned si Jack Animam a while ago and being a mentor figure to some of the younger ones there, and she's still producing very well. In that game wherein si Casey got a 17-10 against ROCA, she got just a meager line of 13-7, 2 assists and 4 steals. What does Jack and her consistency do for this team, especially for the younger ones as they are now learning from her?
Yeah, well, Jack and Afril, basically, they bring the same stability to the team, you know. Every time they get on the court, you know exactly what you're going to get from them. And I think that kind of consistency gives the rookies or the younger players a lot of confidence. That they know they can, you know, take their shots, especially people like Jazz, can take their outside shots because they know Jack is down there and she'll get the rebounds. And so they don't have to be scared to be taking their shots.
19-10 in that game against Japan also. And we're very happy for her, of course, right, with all the opportunities that she's getting internationally.
Definitely. On her way to China.
On her way to China after an injury, you know, the recovery, just that in itself. Janine Ponteos also, you know, these names that we're mentioning, the mainstays, they're mainstays for a reason, attorney.
Well, Janine has made her name by shooting threes.
Yeah.
I mean, at a certain point, everyone was saying she's the best three-point shooter in Asia in women's basketball. The thing about Janine is she's so quiet and unassuming. You sometimes forget she's on the court when she's together with the Chaka Binbins and Kate Castillos. So in this tournament, without those other names, you could see the difference between Janine and the newer players.
Yeah, you know, si
No
Janine.
conscience, eh.
Oo nga eh.
Oh, yeah.
No conscience
Oh, yeah.
talaga.
If her point total is not divisible by 3, I normally ask why. But you take a look at this entire tournament as a whole. Now you have had some of the returning players, you had some of the mainstays, and you have of course some of the hopefully future ng Gilas Pilipinas women. A lot of this is geared towards preparation for the women's the Asian Games. You have this type of preparation. Just how great is it for Coach Pat to be able to see this type of thing and make it more difficult for him to pick a lineup come the Asian Games?
It's a difficult problem for Coach Pat, but it's a good problem, right? It's a problem we didn't have for
Many
a long time.
years, yes.
Yeah, we used to beg players to come and try out for Gilas. And now, it's a great problem for Coach Pat to have to choose between great talent. I mean, we have players coming from the US playing Division 1 and not playing so much on Gilas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our local girls are competing with girls who come from abroad. That's huge for the Philippine program and difficult for Coach Pat.
Attorney, what do you know about what's next? I know the Asian is the preparation, but they are competing. Is it Korea or somewhere
I
else?
understand they got an invitation to join the WKBL. It's like the equivalent of the Summer League of the NBA.
Okay,
So that's in the end of August.
end of August, but all in preparation for the Asian Games,
Yes.
which is of course September, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Attorney, maraming salamat.
First of many.
First of many, the debut that started, the movement. Maraming salamat, Attorney. Really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Now we've got more sports stories after the break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Game. back. You're watching The Game. For the first time, fans can attend the FIBA Hall of Fame ceremony happening on August 23. Fans can join in celebrating local legend Kaloy Loizaga's induction alongside legends Yao Ming, Katrina McLean, and more. Tickets are now available on givergy.com/FIBA Hall of Fame. Your ticket purchase supports the FIBA Foundation's Basketball for Good projects. Come to Manila to celebrate and make a difference.
And on that note, don't miss out on FIBA Basketball World Cup 2023 with Signal Pay-Per-View. Experience world-class basketball action at home with Signal's FIBA World Cup pay-per-view offer for only 650 pesos. You can watch all games from start to finish, no commercial, and in high definition. Plus, get access to exclusive FIBA shows, so visit signal.tv for more details. And reminder also that the FIBA World Cup pay-per-view is also available to satellite subscribers. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Boom Gonzalez.
Catch us weeknights here on One News and on the Pilipinas Live app, where you can watch us live and our past episodes on demand for just 99 pesos a month. It's all available for download on Google Play or the App Store. I'm Paulo Del Rosario, and this has been The Game.